Is this thing... Is this thing on?
Want to help? They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television. Make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt.
Joe Brandon, I agree.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb.
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Across this country, we've seen this new phenomenon lately, chanted at sporting events and on signs. The phrase is, "Let's go Brandon."
Let's go Brandon, I agree. I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
No good, really bad for you.
It's like, oh, Abel's your guy, eh, God? How about if I take him out in the field and beat him to death? It's like, yeah, that's what it is at the bottom of the hell of things.
Dub is a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
Lion, dog face, pony shoulder. You said you were, but you're...
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
And this is just the beginning of America First.
Hello? Is this thing on? Testing. Testing. Am I audible? Am I audible right now? Is anyone able to auditize me? I don't know what that means. Testing. It might be on. Wait, I gotta press the transition button. Oh, yes. All right, we're here doing a program today, doing a show, doing a programmatic experience of the variety of the one that I'm going to do. How is Max? Max the dog went to the vet yesterday, and he is now starting the process of deworming. He is on several drugs. He's laying on the floor right now on drugs. Max is on drugs. He's a dog, and he has worms, and so we gave him drugs. So the process has begun, and it's gonna be an arduous summer. This is gonna be the summer of Max. But anyway, so that's going on. Doing a show. I decided, I woke up and I was like, well, wouldn't it be great if I did a goddamn today? Well, that's what I'm doing. Doing a goddamn. Y'all, so check this out. This is a Polar brand of seltzer I like. This is Polar Seltzer Aid. You might be wondering, what the fuck, right? Like Seltzer Aid. This flavor, what is this flavor? It's raspberry pink lemonade, okay? And as you can see on the label, guilt-free. There's no guilt. Not that I was, feeling guilt by drinking seltzer, but I'm glad they told me it's guilt-free. It's naturally calorie-free, and it contains sparkling water, natural flavors, essence of fresh lemons. So, I've got a Polar Aid, Seltzer Aid, whatever it is, product, and it's guilt-free. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. After what just happened, Lockheed Martin is going to have Dark Eagles hypersonic missiles in Poland. When you say, like, what just happened, like, are you referring to the Bucha massacre? So I got a show lined up, doing a program. We're going to be talking about the program today. Got multiple layers on. I'm getting a little choked up. You like their Polar Birch beer? Polar makes beer? Are you... What? They make beer? Where can I get this? I want to try it. That's cool. Anyway. You should feel guilty because so-called natural flavors are not natural. Well, I understand. So, it's like root beer. It's not alcoholic. Oh, what's the point? Anyway. I think Polar specifically says that they have the essence of fresh lemons in their ingredients list. The ingredients list classification for natural flavors has nothing to do with nature. I agree. That's correct. Mila. But it also depends on the brand. I have not looked into Polar super specifically but from what I have seen, they have definitely better practices than like a store brand seltzer. So it's like root beer, it's not alcoholic. Well, I looked up Polar beer. And I'm seeing some beer. I don't know. Like, they do make beer, apparently. Both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Which is interesting. But anyway. Got a show? Doing a program? Doing a program today. I woke up and, you know, I drank some coffee. I drank like a cup and a half of coffee this morning. And now I'm caffeinated. But also, I got a show going on. Today's show is going to be a little bit more expressionist. Going to get into some news, of course. I've got some news. We're going to be talking about unions on today's show. Mountain Dew still uses anus flavorings. I hope. That's why I like it so much. I don't drink alcohol, though, because it makes me pee. Out of all the reasons to not drink alcohol, that's the worst one. Because you should be peeing. Peeing is good. Now, actually, let's go in. I'm going to do a segment. Thank you, Bilb. So, Bilb in the chat says, I don't drink alcohol because it makes me pee. All right, so we're gonna riff on this for like 10 minutes. All right, check this out. Peeing is good. You want to pee. Peeing is a sign that you are healthy. If you pee and your pee is yellow, you are unhealthy. You need more water, motherfucker. And there we go, swearing in the first 30 seconds. God damn it. Fuck. So anyway, peeing is good. Personally, I pee about 20 times a day. I know that might not be average. I don't know what the average is. I drink about 5 liters of water a day. And I drink seltzer. And, you know, sometimes I drink alcohol. But I pee a lot. Now, also, factor in, I am a trans woman on spironolactone. And that is a medicine that, you know, blocks testosterone production in your body. But it has a side effect of causing you to pee more often. Factor that in. So, I pee more than average because of that medication. So anyway, that being said, peeing is good. You want to pee. If you're only peeing like 3 times a day, you are on death's doorstep. You will die any second. Like, and I'm not being, you know, I know like, oh, wacky and zany. Haha, look at me. You are like, I would call a doctor immediately if you're only peeing 3 times a day. That's fucked up. So, in my opinion, again, the pee test, it's that, you know, you want to constantly be gauging your hydration based on the color of your piss. So again, if it's super yellow and stinky as it's coming out, not good. You know, if you're looking in the toilet bowl and you see, and like, you know, as soon as you get up and you start going like, oh, and it's like, did I like, you know, I thought I was just peeing, you know, that's a bad sign. If your pee stinks, you're losing. It's over. You're done. Now, again, there are some people that may or may not have a sexual fetish, known as, you know, golden showers. If that's the case, if you are purposefully dehydrating your body for sexual pleasure, as long as that's not something you do every day, because again, you don't want to be chronically dehydrated. 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated, which means they suffer from actual sicknesses and illnesses because of their lack of water. So again, if you're doing a golden shower for a sexual fetish, that's cool. That's fine. I'm not into it personally, but as long as you're not doing that every day, you know, if you're doing it once a week and you're like, oh, it's Saturday, it's golden shower day, so I'm going to not drink any water for 12 hours and then hold in my pee, that's fine. You know, just understand, you know, that you are damaging your body. But also, again, you know, if your pee stinks, you need to drink more water. If you look into the toilet and it's like, you know, yellow and shiny and it looks like, look, I don't know, it looks like like a, you know, sunflower or something, that's bad news. You don't want to do that. That is unhealthy. You are literally about to die. The fact that you're even able to get off of the toilet bowl and actually walk out of the bathroom is a miracle of modern science. I recommend drinking water. So again, I pee about 20 times a day, and I base my level of hydration on the color of my pee. So again, ideal scenario, you get up from the toilet, you don't even, you look for evidence of your pee, and it's not even there. It's like, what? Did I even pee? I mean, I felt the pee coming out, but there's no yellow, there's no stink. And sometimes, guess what? Think about it this way. You get to save money on flushing. Right? There's no pee. There's no, like, I mean, like, it's just water coming out. So, you know, again, maybe you can save some gallons of water flushing. You know, if every time you pee, there's no yellow, there's no stink. You know, it's just very, you know, little. Now, again, also factor in, very important. When you pee, right, not only are you getting rid of excess hydration and water, but you're getting rid of electrolytes and minerals. So, again, if you are peeing a lot, right, again, I'm on spironolactone. That's a, you know, testosterone blocker. So I pee a lot, which means I need to, one of the things that you may know is, you know, trans women like pickles. Why do I like pickles? Why? Because it has a lot of electrolytes. Salt. Love salt. Salt is like the anti-pee. Rather, it's like the anti-water. You know, salt helps you retain water in your body, in a way, or, you know, actually, like, it helps you, like, it sucks the water out of you, basically, in other ways, and other than peeing. But anyway, you need to replenish your electrolytes if you're peeing. So make sure you're, you know, getting your electrolytes, you know, mineralized water, food. You can get a lot of them from food. You know, I like pickles, pickle juice, I drink pickle juice. That's good. But again, you know, try not, you know, a lot of people eat too much salt, and it causes like things like hypertension. And one of the ways to treat hypertension is just to drink a lot of water. Like if you drink 5 to 10 liters of water. Now, am I saying that's going to cure your hypertension? No, not at all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional. What I'm saying is, you know, again, it will help that out. So again, I'm just saying water is important. 75% of Americans, 3/4, 3 and 4. If you're waiting in line at the grocery store and there's 4 people ahead of you, 3 of those people are just too stupid to drink water. They're just dumb. And chances are, if you're watching this content, if you're listening to the sound of a digital recording of my voice, and you know, you're you know, again, statistically, you are probably chronically dehydrated. Again, it causes mental health issues. You know, it causes depression because your brain is not functioning at peak capacity. So it's often, you know, it's hard to get happy about things when you're chronically dehydrated. You will be tired, lethargic all the time. It's important. Peeing is good. You want to pee? You really want to pee. And you want to pee and you want to drink pickles. And that's my statement on peeing. But I said this was going to be a 10-minute segment, so I'm going to go for another 3 minutes. All right. So peeing is good. You want to pee as much as possible. You know, and if you, again, you know, if you're into the golden shower thing, that's fine. But as long as I would say you should be trying to eat and drink healthily at least 5 days a week on average. Now, again, if it's like, you know, it's your birthday week and you went on pig out for a week, or, you know, let's say you're on vacation, it's all good. But as far as normal life is concerned, I would say you should be eating and drinking at a healthy rate at least 5 days a week. If you want to take your weekends off every week, okay, I'm down with that. We all need a break, right? But again, that, you know, you can't let the you know, vacation mindset be the new normal. So I'm going to say weekdays, eat healthy, drink healthy. At least, you know, I would say, like, again, it's also like the more, now again, this is I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you my life experience, if I do that in. For me, I feel better about being bad to my body when I know I'm getting my requisite amount of exercise on a daily basis, right? I'm getting, like, you know, I like to go on 30 to 40 minute walks every day. At least, you know, as a minimum, as a floor. Sometimes, like, you know, go multiple laps or whatever. When I'm drinking 4 to 5 liters of water a day, when I'm eating at least 40 grams of fiber a day in my diet, you know what? It makes me feel a little bit better about cracking open a cold one. Makes me feel a little bit better about maybe eating some salsa and chips. You know? So I'm just saying, if you do like to eat bad food, again, it feels better if you are healthy most of the time and you just crack open some potato chips. I got these fucking, like, dill pickle pretzel sticks. And let me tell you, I no longer have them. The whole bag has been demolished. And so I got, about one more minute here to fill because I promised a 10-minute segment about pee. We're going to be peeing for 10 minutes. Again, I don't know, like, you got to treat your body right. Your body is a universe. Your body is a world. Like, how can you be in favor of human rights in human society, like intra-human society? How can you be in favor of human rights when you're not in favor of organ rights? Your organs have a right to be hydrated and to have enough water. Your gut biome, the bacteria inside of your intestinal tracts, deserve to have food. You are a dictator of the world and the universe of your body. And so 75% of Americans who don't drink water, they are brutal, Putin-esque dictators. 95% of Americans that don't eat enough fiber, basically Hitler. You're committing a genocide, a holocaust of bacteria on a daily basis with your habits. You are literally Hitler. So factor that in. Your body is a world. Your body is a universe. You are the sole dictator of that universe. And you should be a benevolent dictator instead of a brutal, genocidal Hitler or Putin-esque dictator. So again, there you go. That's your 10-minute segment on peeing. Thank you, Bilb, for that one. Anyway, let's get back into the polar. Yeah, that's right. Like, if I need to be funny in order to get people to drink water, so be it. If I need to be a clown, oh, look at me, I'm a clown. Look at the clown. Woo! And then maybe he'll drink some fucking water like an adult. So fucking be it. 75% of Americans are too dumb to drink fucking water. They're just stupid motherfuckers. Now, obviously, societal conditions, right? Whatever. But 95% of Americans don't know how to fucking eat a goddamn carrot. Are you joking? When's the last time you've eaten a carrot? Be honest. When's the last time I ate a carrot? 3 days ago. In fact, I might even eat a carrot later today. When's the last time you've had a goddamn, like, Brussels sprout, motherfucker? That shit's good as hell. I love Brussels sprouts. When's the last time you had them? Want to know the last time I had them? 5 days ago. What can I tell you? So, there you go. If I need to be funny and that results in you stopping a genocide in your body, okay, so be it. All right, y'all. Now, again, obviously, I hope my audience is not, I hope 95% of my audience is not a dumbass motherfucker. I hope that it's, closer to 50-50 if I can. Make this a TikTok challenge. What's your pee score? I mean, for me, a pee is like I get up, I go to the bathroom, and I'm back in my chair in 40 seconds, Like, oh, I gotta scroll Twitter for another 40 seconds. I can't pee. I gotta scroll Twitter. Oh, what are these people saying online? Like, you can't fucking take 40 seconds. Now, if you're at a job or something, right? Like, I mean, like, my God, you should be taking as many bathroom breaks as you can, right? Like, I don't know. What's the color? My pee, 9 times out of 10 is clear. Sometimes when I wake up, it's a little yellow, right? Because, I don't typically drink too much water during my sleeping periods. So, an unfortunate bathroom situation. That's like, you could make that the name of a book. Like, you could make that a 600-page novel entitled An Unfortunate Bathroom Situation. I feel it, Alicia. I feel it. But do we even make bad decisions? Are humans capable? Imagine not connecting yourself to an IV while sleeping. Are humans capable of making any decisions? I don't think so. Personally, I don't believe in free will. I don't believe in personal accountability. I think it's all made up. I think our brain processes what we experience in a way that makes it look like we have free will because it produces a better evolutionary result. I think that's likely. But hey, we all have that level of psychosis. We all have that built-in psychosis where we're not fully realizing that we have no personal decisions. We cannot decide anything. We're at the cusp and the whim of chemical reactions, But we've got the illusion that we can make decisions, right? So that illusion plays a part in our evolution. So, I think it's important. I chose to cope with food. I coped with food until I was 21 and I could buy drugs. That's my story. I much prefer alcohol, marijuana, and other such substances to food at this point in my life. But I think most people have a vice. I think everyone has a vice or multiple. What did I eat yesterday? I had a salad and some of those dill pickle pretzels. That's what I had. But yeah, I think anyone who's telling you that they don't have any addictions is a liar. They're lying to you. Now, not every addiction involves putting things in your body. Some people's addictions are, they're addicted to destroying their mental health by scrolling on Twitter. That kind of shit, right? Everyone has their own addictions. My opinion, though, is I try to choose the best addictions that work for me. And I want to help people, have more autonomy in their daily lives. Because I figure, my opinion is humans are a product of their environment. They're reacting to stimuli. No one has free will, right? That being said, we all have the illusion of free will, or at least the potential illusion. Some people are just on autopilot 24/7. They wake up, oh shit, I'm 65, I just retired, now what do I do with my life? Oh god, I didn't think about anything in my own life for fucking 50 years, and now all of a sudden, you blink, oh shit, what the fuck? When did this happen? But anyway, so I think, we gotta train the muscle. We gotta flex the muscle of autonomy. It's a skill that all of us are capable of developing, like snapping. You can train yourself to snap. I'm not the greatest snapper. You can train yourself to be present. You can train yourself to be autonomous. It's just, it's a muscle that's there, and you just have to train it. So, and that's what I try to do. I try to be as autonomous as I can. But really, at the end of the day, anyway, now that I've sufficiently depressed everyone in the chat, let's get into some news. Leaked, not to be confused with the vegetable, new Amazon worker chat app would ban words like union, restrooms, pay raise, and plantation. Also, grievance, slave labor, this is dumb, living wage, diversity, vaccine, and others. So Amazon is trying to put together a chat app for their workers so that they don't chat on other services like SMS or, like Discord or like Slack or something. They want to have their own in-house thing. This is fucking bizarre. Amazon will block and flag employee posts on a planned internal messaging app that contain keywords pertaining to labor unions. According to internal company documents reviewed by The Intercept, an automatic word monitor would also block a variety of terms that could represent potential critiques of Amazon's working conditions, like slave labor, prison, plantation, and restrooms. Now that's the thing. It's one thing if you want to ban slave labor, prison, or plantation. But to ban restrooms. Like, oh, hey, I'm a new employee. Where's the restroom? Banned, flagged. What are you trying to unionize? Like, oh, hey, I'm going to take a break and use the restroom. Banned, flagged. What are you trying to unionize? How dare you? Use the restroom. Presumably related to reports of Amazon employees relieving themselves in bottles to meet publishing quotas. Now, again, I need everyone to understand that capitalism is slavery, right? If you are unable to use the bathroom when you need to, you are not a free being. You are enslaved by a corporate master. Our teams are always thinking about new ways to help employees engage with each other, said Amazon spokesperson Barbara M. Dumbass. This particular program has not been approved yet and may change significantly or even never launch at all. Oh, okay. In November 2021, Amazon convened a high-level meeting in which top executives discussed plans to create an internal social media program that would let employees recognize coworkers' performance with posts called shout-outs. Look, they're using the cool hip language. Oh, we're going to give shout-outs to our employees. Oh, whoa. The major goal of the program, Amazon's head of the worldwide consumer business, Dave Clark, said, was to reduce employee attrition by fostering happiness among workers. Yes, the best way to foster happiness, one, not let them use the restroom. Two, not let them even acknowledge that restrooms exist in the chat app. That's the best way to make your employees happy. And also productivity shout-outs. And also productivity, period, shout-outs would be a part of a gamified reward system in which employees are rewarded virtual stars and badges. What is this, fucking Pokemon? For activities that add direct business value, documents say. At the meeting, Clark remarked that some people are insane star collectors. So, you provided more money to the executives. So instead of giving you a cash stipend, you increased our profits by 8%, so we'll give you like a, $250 bonus. No. We're going to give you a gold star. And on top of that, we're going to give you a shout out. Like, you made us hundreds of thousands of extra dollars with your, productivity boom or increase. We're going to give you $0 of those dollars. In fact, we're going to fire you in a couple of months, but we're not going to tell you that yet. But right now, we're going to give you a shout out and a gold star. And, you're an insane star collector. What is this motherfucker, SpongeBob and Patrick from the goddamn one episode of SpongeBob with the fucking perfect noodle stars? Like, that's what it reminds me of. But company officials also warned of what they call the dark side of social media and decided to actively monitor posts in order to ensure a positive community. At the meeting, Clark suggested that the program should resemble an online dating app like Bumble, which allows individuals to engage one-on-one rather than a more forum-like platform like Facebook. So you shouldn't be able to just text your fucking coworkers. You got to use the Amazon chat app. And you can cash in your gold stars for an extra pee bottle at the Amazon Gold Star shop. Following the meeting, an auto bad word monitor was devised, constituting a blacklist that would flag words and automatically block employees from sending a message that contains any profane or inappropriate keywords. I'm glad that I'm not, I'm sheltered from profanity while I am talking, while I'm 47 years old and talking to my 39-year-old coworker. I'm glad that we have been protected from the profane language by Big Daddy Amazon. I'm so happy that I can't say what the hell to my grown adult coworker. I'm glad that they protected me from those words. In addition to profanities, however, the terms include many relevant to organized labor, including union, grievance, pay raise, and compensation. Other banned keywords include terms like ethics, unfair, slave, master, freedom, diversity, injustice, and fairness. Even some phrases like, this is concerning, will be banned. Now, in my opinion, again, the Amazon spokesperson is like, we don't know if we're ever going to do this. This is just, what we had in the idea phase. But as far as I have to say...
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it.
The idea that anyone got into a room and came up with a list of words, that is what's concerning. That is the fucking scary part. That the executives came up with this list in the first place. Whether or not they implement it, That's its own story. But the idea that a bunch of these motherfuckers got into a room and said, yes, we're going to ban the word slave just in case. What? What? Like, that is the, like, this is the mindset of the CEOs. This is the mindset. This is how they operate. Again, these are the owners of this country. The owners operate like this. You are not free. You are not a citizen. You have no rights. This is a game board. In the same way that when you're playing Monopoly and you pass go and you get $200 to make the game more interesting and fun, well, can you go to the center of the board? Can you go off the board with that $200? No. You're still stuck on the board. You're stuck on the tram lines. And that's it. Because that's capitalism. They give you these pretend things to make you feel like you have rights. To make you feel like you have protections. You don't. You have nothing. So anyway, here's a list. I'm going to read it. I hate union, fire, terminated, compensation, pay raise, bullying, harassment. I don't care. Rude. So you can't say it like even another coworker was rude. This is concerning. Stupid. Again, 53-year-old workers, you got to protect them from the word stupid. If a 48-year-old sees the word stupid while they're at work, honestly, they might just spontaneously combust. You got to protect them. You got to get daddy in to protect them. This is dumb. Prison. Threat. Petition. Grievance. Injustice. Diversity. Ethics. Fairness. Accessibility. Vaccine. Why would Amazon not want their workers to say vaccine? Are they anti-vax? Senior ops, living wage, representation, unfair, favoritism, rate. Rate. I mean, rate is just a word you use in language. Like, you could say it in a positive way. Oh, I think we're working at a pretty good rate today. Banned. What are you trying to unionize? Tot. I don't know what tot means. Like tater tot? I don't know. Unite/unity. Plantation. Why would they want to ban the word plantation? Slave. Slave labor. Master. Concerned. Freedom. Restrooms. Robots. Trash. Committee. Coalition. Again, the idea, you can read the rest of this. The idea that any of these motherfuckers would ever even have this idea in the, like the, again, once again.
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it.
The idea that they came up with this, someone had an idea and then opened their mouths and said it out loud, and then a room full of other people were like, oh, that's a great idea. That is cause for concern. That is where all people in our society should get together and say, what the fuck is going on with these freaks? These are freaks of nature. But once again, these are the owners of this country. They treat you like children. How dare you say the hell word at work? How dare you utter the phrase, damn, while you're on the job? But maybe, if you don't use any profanity for a week, we'll give you an extra pee bottle. You know, good boy points. Anyway, this is what the rich do for a living. This is why they should be taxed or imprisoned. I mean, like, if we're talking about, like, on a how do we get to a utopia scale and I have infinite power, Well, I mean, if I have infinite power, obviously I would prefer rehabilitation, right? But, like, let's assume rehabilitation is not achievable or feasible. I would not have any problem with putting CEOs in prison. Like, I prefer everyone to be going through a rehabilitative process. But, like, also, I mean, I'm just saying, it's not a bad idea. Anyway, I'm going to play this clip here. So, Chris Smalls, the president of the Amazon Labor Union, went on television, I believe this is CNBC, to discuss the union situation. And, you know, I just want to play this clip because I think it's pretty good. So, let's watch.
You know, the revolution is here. That's what we just witnessed on Friday. We're going to organize buildings all across the nation. You know, in the last 72 hours, we've been contacted from workers all over the world. So they want to unionize. We're going to absolutely help them. We're going to get it done here in New York first. We have another election coming up in 3 weeks. So we're right back at the campaign, on the campaign trail. And once we're finished here in New York, we're going to spread just like the Starbucks movement is spreading across the nation.
So this is great. Now, again, the thing about unions, the thing about community organizing is there's a domino effect, exponential returns over time. One person, like one union becoming successful will make it so that, you know, potentially hundreds of unions over the next 10 years will see that, right? They'll, or like, you know, or like companies or organizations or plants or factories will see that. They will go like, we can do that. And again, every single success builds off of the previous. And again, exponential returns. You look at Starbucks. Starbucks has been unionizing like crazy. I think there's like 5 or 6 that I've seen unionized over the course of the last like year or two. And so that's great. This is wonderful. And ultimately, the important part that can be learned from these union victories is that you don't need to rely on anybody. You don't need to ask Big Daddy, Big Mommy to approve of your plan. You could take that plan that you have and put it into action with your fellow workers. That is the ultimate goal here. Now, again, Amazon and Starbucks, giant corporations, right, that are honestly some of the most evil corporations to ever exist, right? The CEOs of which are some of the biggest enemies of humanity to ever walk the face of this earth. Jeff Bezos, Howard Schultz, etc. Some of the biggest enemies of humanity ever. To ever exist, to ever be spawned into existence, and then live the lives that they had. These people are monsters. And again, it needs to be understood as well that CEOs of these companies are slave owners, not only in a figurative sense, like as I described before in my show, where I think everyone is to some degree in slavery. But look at Howard Schultz at Starbucks, for example. Where does he source his coffee? Look at Amazon, for example. Where do they get a lot of their extremely cheap items? Where? From countries, not in the United States, that profit off of child labor and slave labor. So not only are these people in their own ways enslaving people in the United States, but they are actively encouraging slavery overseas. And that is an important thing to understand, right? Is that it is completely unnecessary. But the only reason they do that, the only reason they have contracts with child laborers, why? Is to make more money for themselves. They are evil. Pure, unadulterated evil is what CEOs of these companies are. Jeff Bezos is a supervillain. He is evil to his core. Every fiber of his being is evil. The same with Howard Schultz, the same with Elon Musk and these other CEOs. They are pure evil. Like that episode of SpongeBob or whatever, where it's like plankton goes into the thing and it's like 99% evil, 1% hot gas or whatever. That's in this. If you were to put CEOs in those machines in SpongeBob, it would be 100% evil. Or 99% evil, 1% hot gas. That also works. But also, it needs to be understood. And again, this is not like the only things that actually exist in this world, right? There's no such thing as the worker-employee or employer and employee relationship that's made up. That doesn't exist. That's not like a natural law of physics that we need owners to guide us. We don't need owners. Humans lived and flourished for thousands of years without owners. We don't need owners, right? The only things that matter at the end of the day are how can we have food and water and shelter. Everything else that gets in the way of those goals is made up. We have enough shelter for every human on earth to flourish, to do whatever they want for the rest of their lives. We have enough food and water production chains for every human on earth to flourish, to live the healthiest life imaginable. So it needs to be understood, again, workers getting together and unionizing all across this country is going to create an exponential effect. But it needs to also be understood that CEOs aren't just going to sit back and watch it happen. They're going to do their best to combat this. They're going to do their best to break up unions. They're going to do their best because this is not the first time in American history where unions became mainstream and popular. Look at the history of the New Deal, for example, all the way up until the 1980s. Unions used to be extremely popular in this country, and then decades and decades of propaganda and bad legislation broke them up and destroyed them. So again, how do we learn from the mistakes of our ancestors? The biggest way to learn from our mistakes is to not give up. And so again, Chris Small's going on television saying that the revolution is here, and that, again, he and the Amazon Labor Union, that one in New York are going to branch off to more plants, to more factories, to more whatever groups, right? And again, Amazon Labor and Starbucks Labor unions can, again, they can work together to try to help other unions or unionizing efforts. And again, the more and more that this happens, it's going to have an exponential effect. And again, we also need to understand that we need to protect the gains, because gains are not, it's not like we win. It's not like you tally something into a piece of rock, right? And you can't erase the tally, right? Right? We're drawing in pencil right now. And the CEOs and the government, they've got a lot of erasers, and they're going to do their best to undo our gains. So not only do we need to gain, not only do we need to win, right, as a class, but what we need to do is cement those gains, cement those wins for future generations. Like the generations before us did. They gave us things, right, like abolishing child labor in this country, right, like the 40-hour work week. Those were things that seem normal now, but only because of the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors in this country. They fought and died. They were massacred by the government, massacred by the owners. But at the end of the day, they did secure some rights. And again, we had a lot more rights as a class in this country before. And they've been slowly whittled away. They will whittle away anything that they can at any point that they can. Right? So on top of everything, we must remain vigilant. And we must be sure that the gains are not undone. So there you go. Hopefully everyone's day is going well. I hope that my commentary is good. I hope it's entertaining. I hope that it is incisive and witty. I hope. Trying my best here. Oh. Will enough people wake up in time to change things? Probably not. But my opinion, it's worth trying. Anyway. So I got a thread here from More Perfect Union. A couple of days ago, I covered how Jim Cramer was posting cringe on live television. And so More Perfect Union pushed back on him posting cringe, and he is doing a video response via live television in response to his cringe. And let's watch, and I got a whole thread here from More Perfect Union, which you should follow on Twitter, by the way. So let's watch.
I think Howard's going to work with people and explain why the union may not be the best option. He gave a long speech in Buffalo about it. He's an impassioned guy. He has a level of bearing that few people in the world have, and I think he can really talk about how it's such a great place to work. He'll do a good job.
So again, we're talking about Starbucks in this particular clip, but of course Jim Cramer was shitting on the Amazon union, and he's been shitting on Starbucks unions. Howard is Howard Schultz, the CEO, or like I think he's still the CEO. I'm not sure exactly, but I know he's like one of the main players behind Starbucks.
We got beat up a little bit for our discussion on Amazon on Friday, that we didn't appreciate, I guess, union life and how its importance in American working life.
Well, you know, I belonged to 2 unions in my life. Helped lead a wildcat strike. Almost ill-advised, by the way.
First of all, I love how the music is starting up. That's great. Second of all, yeah, I'm a little bit of a union guy myself here. You know, I say this as I'm a little bit of a, I was, union guy from way back. Helped lead a strike or 2 back in my day. Like, what the fuck?
Got a lot of people fired. And my experience is that if you have a union that's adversarial, then you can't protect your people. And I look, unions can be great in this very stressful situation, but Elon Musk doesn't have unionized people, and I think he puts out great product, and I don't see big turnover. Right.
Elon Musk doesn't have unionized people, and he puts out a great product. Well, guess what? Like, you know what we can do? We can put out a great product if we murdered people and harvested their organs. And then we could sell livers. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, human rights don't matter. All that matters is we put out a great product, right? Like, really? That's your standard? That's your standard. Is putting out a great product. Well, we need livers. People need livers. So, what's the easiest way to get livers? Let's just kill a bunch of people and harvest their organs. Now again, Tesla, which apparently puts out a great product, according to reports, there are many workplaces that are being sued for racial discrimination. Why? Well, because there are many factories, Tesla factories, where every black employee is at the lowest level of employment, and all the managers who are white were caught on tape acting like slave owners, referring to the black workers beneath them with racial slurs, calling them slaves, making jokes about how they're like modern day plantation owners, saying that in a positive way. But hey, they put out a great product, so who needs a union, right? Who needs a union? They have a great product, bro. Yeah, so what if we had to enslave a couple people? It's all good. Guy's a freak. But anyway, More Perfect Union has a thread here. Kramer pointed to Elon Musk, who, quote, doesn't have unionized people, but still, quote, puts out a great product. He failed to mention that Tesla workers who have tried to unionize were illegally threatened and fired, per the NLRB. Moreover, Tesla has rising product quality issues, and Musk's union busting is arguably a key driver. Tesla has had to recall nearly 2 million cars in the past year, despite its cars being far simpler than gas engine cars. 20 moving parts per vehicle versus 2,000. So not only did Jim Cramer lie about how Elon Musk is, quote, putting out a great product, but he's also a dumbass. I framed that sentence in a weird way. In our initial thread, we argued that unions offer a pathway to the middle class and ensure that workers' voices are heeded in company decisions. Kramer didn't even attempt to address those arguments. In lauding Musk, Cramer is prioritizing personal wealth accumulation over the exploitation of workers. Cramer praised another billionaire CEO, Howard Schultz, for fighting the Starbucks union drive. Schultz has also accumulated wealth with union busting. So again, Jim Cramer's a fucking moron. He's a douchebag. He's a dumbass. And, you know, I enjoy that we're at the point in our society where, like, you know, a group like More Perfect Union can make a Twitter thread and criticize someone on TV and then they feel the need to respond. That's a good direction that we're going in. And we need to keep going. We need to be pushing these fucking news actors, these fake morons, these fucking like out of touch elite fucking losers that have never fucking probably shook like the hand of a fucking poor person in their life. Again, Jim Cramer, I'm a bit of a union guy. Yeah, I'm a union guy from way back in the day. Low effort, low IQ, just dunderhead, doo-doo brain garbage. I used to be a Musk fan. God, I feel so dirty. It happens. Like, when I first heard about Elon Musk, it was when he was getting into, like, space stuff. In my opinion on space is that I think we need space exploration. I think, personally, space exploration, if I were to develop, like, a top 5 things that humanity should focus on, space exploration may be number 1 or 2. I would say number 1 probably is optimizing life on Earth, probably. Number 2, space exploration. So when I first heard of Elon Musk, it was when he was getting into space exploration. And I thought that was interesting. And then, you know, you literally read anything about him, and it's like... And then you realize, wait a second, why don't we just fund NASA? Why are billionaires going to space and not, like, the fucking, you know, space agency coalitions all across the globe? Right? You know, so it's like, you know... But again, billionaires are good at propaganda. They've got the entire news industry in this country is owned by billionaires. Like 99% of it. So 99% of the information that you're getting is directly from the mouth of billionaires. So of course they're going to talk highly of themselves, right? So yeah, I mean, it's no fault. You're not a bad person if you fall for propaganda at one point in your life. The default, like, we are spawned into society being unable to discern what propaganda is on purpose. So, you know, you got to wake up out of it. It's like the goddamn Matrix, you know? You got to get the hell out. So here is billionaire douchebag CEO Howard Schultz talking about how unions are basically like a salt. Let's watch.
Now, here's where it gets a little sensitive, because I've been coached a little bit, but I do want to talk about something pretty serious. We can't ignore what is happening in the country as it relates to companies throughout the country being assaulted in many ways by the threat of unionization. Now,
so yes, you can obviously tell Howard Schultz, a little bit of a piss baby, kind of mad that there's unionization going on in the country. At his corporation. Now again, all right, what should the goal of a company be? To put out a banger product. Am I right, people? Like, who cares? Right? We want to put out the best product we can for the longest possible time that we can. Right? That should be the goal. Well, wrong, actually. The goal of a company is to extract as much wealth as you can from poor people. That is how this country has operated pretty much since its inception. Except they don't tell you that part. They lie to you and say, oh yeah, it's about putting out great coffee with a smile. What? You know? Like the idea that a company should abuse its workers just for the sake of the CEO making more money is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Because here's the thing. Here's the ultimate truth that these CEOs do not want you to know. When a workforce is unionized and comfortable and has their basic needs met, productivity skyrockets. The quality of products skyrocket. Right? The satisfaction of customers skyrockets. Every metric that you could possibly track for determining the quality of a workplace, a company, and their products would go up. The only metric that would go down would be the percentage of wealth being extracted from the poor people by the CEOs. That is the only metric that would go down. And so that's what needs to be understood. Is that ultimately, this is not about putting out the best coffee. This is not about making customers happy and workers happy. This is about making as much money for themselves as possible. They could be spending the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that they're spending on anti-union campaigns. They could be spending that money on worker bonuses, on building more bathrooms, on hiring more workers. But instead, they're spending that money on anti-union propaganda because they've determined that that money will return an investment larger than they're putting in. If they're putting in $10 million into anti-union propaganda, they're expecting that over the course of, if that propaganda succeeds, and that over the course of the next couple of years, if there are less unions, that they will make more than $10 million. This is an investment, is what they're trying to do here. They are investing into their own future resources at the expense of workers, at the expense of workers' health, and at the expense of the product that they're serving. They would rather give you a shittier product if it means that they can rake in more money. So again, this kind of language is pretty horrible. And once again, I recommend following More Perfect Union. They've been going on for a while now, but they've been putting out a lot of stuff lately because there's a lot of talk about unions. And so I wanted to share a lot of what they're saying. But again, these CEOs, they don't give a fuck about you. And in fact, their caring for your health, happiness, and safety is at direct opposition with their own personal happiness. Capitalism has created a situation where people can gain meaning, happiness, by attacking and killing other people. Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks, where do you source your coffee? From child laborers and from slave laborers? Last time I checked. Right? So, but again, that makes him happier because he's got more money. He's higher up on the capital leaderboard. Maybe I'll crack the top 20 if I just kill a couple slaves in the global south. That's all they care about. We have created a society, humans have created a society where certain people gaining happiness and meaning is, for whatever reason, that happiness and meaning requires the death and suffering of millions of other people. And that's fucking weird. That's fucking strange. That's fucking strange. Has anyone ever thought about how fucking weird that is? That someone else can get happy by killing other people? By hurting other people? That's fucking weird. These people are crazy. So anyway, there you go. Let's go, Bodan! I agree. So, let's see here. God damn, y'all. I'm going on a tear today. We started talking about PP parties, and now we're ending talking about goddamn goddams. Except there's more. All right, y'all. I would like everyone to put their seatbelts on. Their cringe belts on. And, because we got to gear up for this. So Tulsi Gabbard, at it again. Let's watch.
You may have seen in the news recently, or you may be a parent who's experienced how parental rights are under attack all across the country as the government tries to usurp parents' rights and responsibility to raise their own children. Now, we should all support the Parental Rights and Education Bill that recently passed in Florida, which...
First of all, she said that recently passed in Florida. The caption says that recently in Florida. I don't know what's going on there. Second of all, Tulsi Gabbard, who has previously said she loves gay people. Now, again, even further back, she previously said she hates gay people, but then she did, came back, said, oh, I love the gays. My best friend is gay. I have a lot of gay friends. In fact, I'm gay. And now she is advocating not only for the Don't Say Gay bill to be applied to kindergarten to third grade, she wants all of public schooling to ban the mention of gay people.
Passed in Florida, which very simply bans government and government schools from indoctrinating woke sexual values in our schools.
Woke sexual values. What? What? Woke sexual values. Can someone just tell me what the fuck that means? First of all, what are sexual values? Without the woke modifier, what the fuck is a sexual value? Like, is this another way of saying, oh, that's just their lifestyle? Like, what? Sexual values. And then woke sexual values? So being gay means you're woke, is what this means? This is what she's saying? Being trans automatically makes you woke.
To a captive audience that is by law required to attend.
Actually, you are not by law required to attend 12th grade. I know that because I never went to 12th grade and I'm not in jail.
But as I read the legislation, I got to tell you, I was shocked to learn that it only protects kids from kindergarten till third grade. Third grade? What about 12th grade? Or not at all? Now, government has no place in our personal lives. Government has no place in our bedrooms.
So, you see what she's doing? She is switching the narrative. She is using the terminology, government has no place in our bedrooms, which was developed to protest for gay rights. She is using that same language as a way to restrict access to information about gay people.
Parents are the ones responsible for raising their kids and instilling in them a moral foundation, not the government. Now, the reality that we're facing in this country is our schools are failing. Nationally, 34% of students are below basic reading level in the fourth grade. 25% of high school graduates are functionally illiterate. Now,
So yes, schooling in this country is horrible. But what is creating 25% of high school graduates being illiterate? Is it having a gay classmate? I used to be able to read and write, and then I learned the guy who sat next to me in goddamn biology class is gay. So then I completely forgot, I saw red, I completely forgot how to read and write, and I never recovered since. What? How the fuck does educating kids, adults, mind you, if you're in 12th grade, you can be 18 years old, educating teens and adults about sexual education somehow makes them lose the ability to read and write? Like, again, this is just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yes, schools are failing. Why? Because they're underfunded by the government. Why? because they have too much involvement from government curricula. When you go to school, you have to stand up and heil the flag. Like Hitler Youth in Nazi Germany. That is step one to your day when you enter school. Is you have to pray to a fucking piece of stupid fucking cloth in the corner of the fucking room and heil the fucking flag. But, hey, she's telling me that we need to get government out of school. I'm down for that. I'm down for not teaching kids that slavery was morally necessary evil. That's what I learned in school. Well, you know, we had, as a country, in order to develop, you know, times were different, you know, we had, you know, morally bad, but a necessary evil. That's what we learned. Slavery was, we had to. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get here as a country. Huh. That's weird. So yeah, I'm down with getting government out of our schools and stop teaching fascistic government propaganda in schools. I'm down for that.
I'm confident that if our schools focused on educating our kids, teaching them the fundamentals, things like English, math, science, civics, history, we would see our literacy rates improve.
Do these fucking stupid fucking bitch fuck motherfuckers genuinely think that schools aren't teaching science, math, and history? What the fuck? Do they really think people are going to school and they're just reading about gay people all day? Like, you go in, it's 7 a.m., you sit down, you pledge your allegiance to the flag, and then you watch, like, fucking, like, I don't know, like, a fucking, like, gay movie for 8 hours straight on loop? Like, what the fuck are they kidding me? Is this a joke? How can anyone look at this and think, oh yeah, that's perfect sense?
And set our young people up for success. They'll be thinking logically, thinking critically, and thinking for themselves. This is what our public schools should focus on.
Again, this bitch is fucking crazy. She's fucking crazy. Like, she literally believes that kids today are going to school and it's just like, first period, woke. Second period, how to be gay. Third period, the benefits of transitioning. Fourth period, how to be non-binary. Fifth period, how to hate the government. Sixth period, how white people destroyed the world. And then you go home. What? What? Like, that's what she thinks. She is actually saying, she made a video, and there's no laugh track. Apparently, like, this is not like a joke or satire. Right? She literally thinks that kids aren't learning about science, math, and history. My problem is, they're learning about history, but it's a fucking corrupt, fascistic perspective of American history that they're often learning. What does she have to say about how science classrooms have been banned from teaching about evolution? Now, again, I say this a lot. I'm 25 years old, right? So I was in high school not that long ago. When I took biology class in high school, evolution was one chapter, and it was treated as a debate. Half the chapter was, some people think that God created the universe. Half the chapter, again, this is like, 10 years ago for me that I took biology class. Evolution was treated as a debate. This is the same stupid fuck bitch that doesn't believe in climate change. And she wants to teach kids about science. Oh, we need to... Huh? What the fuck? These people are fucking nuts. They are fascists. They are Nazis. Full stop. There's no other description. They are Nazis. They are Nazis. Tulsi Gabbard is a Nazi. Full stop. If you try to debate that, you're a fucking lunatic. You've lost the plot. You're wasting your fucking time. You are a useful fucking dumbass. Go fuck yourself. This is a Nazi. We have a Nazi party in this country. Some of them pretend to be Democrats. Most of them are Republicans. They are Nazis. There is a movement of fascists in this country. They want you to heil their leader. They want to teach you about the only good, the morally evil but necessary evil of slavery. They want to teach you that George Washington, yeah, he had wooden teeth, bro. It was all cool, and he was a great guy. They want to teach you that, oh, yeah, these are great. Yeah, they're all fucking slave owners. But they don't want to tell you that part. I didn't learn that our founding fathers had slaves in school. I was not taught that. I had to learn that from motherfuckers on the internet. Why didn't my fucking school tell me about history. Why? Because the government has their hand in the curricula. The government has their hand in what they teach. It's always been that way. It has always been that way. She is a Nazi, full stop. Anyone who disagrees is a moron. I hate people, and I hate dumbasses. I'm going to talk about Ukraine tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff going on in Ukraine. There have been reports of, as Bodan was mentioning in the chat, hundreds and hundreds of civilians raped, tortured, massacred, left dead in the streets for weeks and weeks by the Russian military. I'm going to get into that tomorrow. But, you know, I just wanted to mention that that's a big news story and that people should look into it as well. Because, again, there are photos being circulated of children being tossed into piles with rape victims. Now, why would children be in the same pile of dead corpses as rape victims? Because the Russian military was raping children in cities like Bucha in Ukraine. I don't know if it's Bucha or Bucha. I'm not sure. So, you know, that's a developing story. I'm going to get into that tomorrow because I haven't read all the new reports yet. So, that's exactly right, Courtney. Where did this idea that George Washington had wooden teeth come from? It's not really even in contemporary history. People made it up as a way to say, like, to mythify our founding fathers. Like, they wanted to make our founding fathers seem like gods. So they took a lot of the uncomfortable histories and they cartoonized them. They mythologized them. And that's where George Washington's wooden teeth come from. They made it up. They made it up. These motherfuckers are crazy. I don't know how anyone walks around and pretends like every governmental apparatus and structure is fucking crazy. Like, I mean, just look outside. Like, I look at cars and I think, what the fuck's going on? But I mean, like, my God, police in this country? Jesus. Like, that if you see police and you think, oh, there's nothing wrong here. Wow, man. Like all these governmental institutions, not just in this country, but across the world. Johnny Depp. I am pro Johnny Depp, having seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm a super fan now. So, people seem to have a built-in distrust for the government. Here's the problem with that, Donald James, is it's a natural human inkling to be anti-authority. The idea of authority is ridiculous, and most people understand that most humans are against authority in an innate sense. So that's why they mythologize American history. We were so anti-authority as a country that we rebelled against the king. And we created a liberal bastion of hope. Right? So they build that into the American mythology, is that we're revolutionaries. Right? But then also, again, humans typically are against authority. So what they try to do is they muddy the waters. Like all these like libertarianism, the idea that capitalism is not an oppressive system being put on us by the government, but it's actually a liberatory system. And we need to change the government, man, so that, you know, capitalism can flourish, bro. Libertarians classify themselves as anti-authority, but they're the biggest authoritarian bootlicker cucks I've ever seen in my life. They worship a system that was made up by CEOs and billionaires to convince people that weren't enslaved, or convince people that are enslaved that they're not enslaved. That's capitalism. But then you have got a whole branch of a political ideology where people that are going like, yeah, man, I hate authority, are basically just weaseled into and wheeled into another form of promoting authority. And that's why you see, like, you know, the Trumpers, they go like, I'm against the elites, so that's why I support Donald Trump. Actually, speaking of Trumpers, I have a good clip here. I want to play this. This is from the Good Liars. They do some really good stuff. So they interview a Trump supporter and ask her, who would you rather have as president, Joe Biden or Vladimir Putin? So what's important to understand here, right, is it's a simple question. We can all, like, guess the answer. I want everyone in the chat to guess 30 seconds from now. Guess, like, you know, where the Joe Biden or Vladimir Putin, how is she going to answer this question? Let's watch.
Who would you rather have president, Joe Biden or Vladimir Putin?
Oh, Putin. Definitely.
And why is that?
I believe he's been given a tough...
So she glitches.
Since World War II.
So, okay. So she starts off, he's been given a tough, and then she glitches. She's like, oh, fuck, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying.
And why is that?
I believe he's been given a tough, since World War II, Russia's been the bad guy, when in actuality the Nazis left Germany and they ended up going to the Ukraine, coming in here. George Bush was actually, thank you. George Bush was actually a Nazi.
Who would
you? Thank you. George Bush was actually a Nazi. Thank you. George Bush was actually a Nazi.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Now that part, that sounds pretty woke. That sounds really woke. Now, first of all, is she talking about, like, George Bush's family? Because George Bush's family gained a lot of prominence by working with Nazis. So, in a way, she's right. But, like, what the hell? Like, okay, Vladimir Putin or Joe Biden, 30 seconds later, George Bush actually is a Nazi. I mean... I'm just going to play this whole clip again.
Who would you rather have president, Joe Biden or Vladimir Putin?
Oh, Putin. Definitely.
And why is that?
I believe he's been given a tough... since World War II, Russia's been the bad guy, when in actuality the Nazis left Germany and they ended up going to the Ukraine, coming in here. George Bush was actually... Thank you. George Bush was actually a Nazi.
Who would you rather?
Now, I would go as far as to say that she is also a Nazi. So my question is, like, why don't you support George Bush? You're a Nazi. He's a Nazi. Putin's a Nazi. Yeah, we have a Nazi problem in this country and in this world. That's a problem. Then all the Nazis weren't like, yo, let's go to the Ukraine. Which, by the way, like, okay, so the Nazis went to the Ukraine, which at the time was, it was Soviet Union, which is the country that beat the Nazis. So they all went to but they all stayed in the Ukraine and didn't go to other members of the Soviet Union. They all stayed in the Ukraine, waiting, having kids, having future generations, waiting until the Ukraine breaks apart from the Soviets so that they can make a Nazi... I mean, like, maybe, but, like, also, Nazis are everywhere. They're in Russia. They're in the United States. I mean, in her opinion, George, we had presidents who were Nazis. I agree with that. Trump, also a Nazi. But I don't know, man. Like that's the thing, is you ask these people a question and they have like a reflexive anti-Biden attitude, right? So it's like they reflexively go like, oh yeah, Putin. Oh yeah. Biden sucks. Let's go, Brandon. Putin. Yeah. And then they realize in their brain, they're like, wait a second. Why? Like they don't expect the person to say, well, why Putin? So then they go, Putin is, Russia, World War II, and George Bush is Nazi. Let's go, Brandon. Like, wow. Just wow.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Anyway. Alright, broken clock twice a day, right? Alright, y'all, that's gonna be my last segment for today. I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Alright, that's it. That's the show. Once again, drinking some guilt-free polar seltzer-aid. Oh my god, this is the best stretch ever. Oh, best stretch ever. Holy shit. I'm tingling with pleasure. Still from that stretch. Holy fuck. Oh. Does it have electrolytes? I don't think so. Like in Charles' name. I don't know Charles. So, Buka, I don't know. Anyway. That's all I got. That's it. It's over. It's done.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius. So stupid. Thank you.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
There was no response. They didn't have one for that. No, it's very sad. Very sad. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into them, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Dumb as a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
It's like, oh, Abel's your guy, eh, God? How about if I take him out in the field and beat him to death?
Dumb people, liberal people,